Most people talk about money like income is the whole story. How much do you make? What is your salary? Did you get a raise? Are you doing better than last year? But income is only the money moving through your life. Net worth is what is left after the money has moved through. And that number changes more than your spreadsheet. It changes what scares you, what you can ignore, what choices feel possible, and how much of your day is spent managing pressure. Two people can make the same $80,000 a year and live inside completely different money realities. One person gets a $1,200 repair bill and feels irritated. The other person gets the same bill and immediately starts moving due dates around in their head. Same income, same bill, different stage. So in this video, we are going to map 6 net worth stages in plain English. Not to rank people, not to shame anyone, and definitely not to pretend one number explains an entire life. The point is simpler than that. Each stage has a different kind of trap, and each stage changes what money feels like from the inside. Stage 1 is below zero. This is negative net worth. You owe more than you own. Maybe it is student loans. Maybe it is credit cards. Maybe it is a car loan that is larger than the car is worth. Maybe it is just a pile of normal life costs that arrived before the savings did. The hardest part of this stage is not only the math. It is the feeling that every mistake gets more expensive because you do not have room to absorb it. A small emergency can turn into interest. Interest can turn into a minimum payment. A minimum payment can turn into a month where the paycheck arrives already spent. At this stage, the goal is not to look impressive. The goal is to stop the bleeding. That may mean building one small cash buffer before attacking everything else. It may mean cutting one payment that keeps pulling you backward. It may mean getting current, staying current, and refusing to let one bad week become a permanent bill. The win here is not glamorous. It is when the hole stops getting deeper. Stage 2 is the first positive number. This could be $500, could be $3,000, could be $10,000. The exact number depends on the household, but the feeling is recognizable. For the first time, the account is not empty at the exact moment life asks for something. The car still breaks. The dentist still costs money. The rent still arrives too fast. But every surprise does not automatically become a crisis. This stage can feel strangely emotional because the relief is real, but it is also fragile. The trap is mistaking relief for safety. You finally have a little margin, so the nicer apartment feels reasonable. The new phone feels deserved. The car payment feels manageable. And before you notice, the small cushion you fought to build has been converted into monthly obligations. The move at stage 2 is to protect the first margin like it is an asset, because it is. A small buffer is not just money. It is decision time. It lets you wait. It lets you think. It lets a bad Tuesday stay a bad Tuesday. Stage 3 is stable, but you are still the engine. This is the stage where a person may have $10,000, $25,000, maybe $50,000 of net worth. On paper, the progress is real. Debt may be lower. Retirement contributions may exist. The checking account no longer feels like a live wire. But most of the forward motion is still coming from your paycheck and your behavior. If you stop saving, the machine stops moving. That is not a failure. It is just the stage. The trap here is parking all the progress in places where it cannot grow, or spending every raise because the old pressure finally relaxed. This is where money needs a simple assignment. Some dollars protect emergencies. Some dollars pay known future costs. Some dollars reduce expensive debt. Some dollars invest quietly for the future. When each dollar has a job, the stage starts to change. You are no longer just trying to survive the month. You are building a system that can survive your mood. Stage 4 is the first serious snowball. For many people, this is somewhere around $100,000 of net worth, especially when a meaningful part of it is invested or building equity without being immediately spent. The number is not magic, but it is often the first time the math starts to feel less lonely. If money is invested, it can begin producing money while you are doing something else. At first, the amount may not look dramatic. It might be smaller than a rent payment. It might be smaller than a vacation. But the important thing is that the direction has changed. Before this stage, almost every dollar of progress had to come directly from you. After this stage, the system starts helping. The trap is lifestyle creep arriving dressed as proof that you made it. The raise becomes a better car. The bonus becomes a bigger monthly life. The brokerage account gets ignored because the house, the car, the furniture, and the trips all feel like normal rewards for hard work. There is nothing wrong with enjoying money. The danger is when every improvement in income becomes a permanent obligation. At this stage, the quiet question becomes, did this make my life stronger or just more expensive? Stage 5 is when options become visible. This is the stage where net worth may be a few $100,000, maybe more. The exact number matters less than the shift in choices. You can imagine changing jobs without total panic. You can handle a repair without needing to narrate it to 3 different accounts. You can choose a smaller house, a used car, or a slower lifestyle without feeling like you failed. From the outside, this stage might look boring. That is the funny part. The inside feels different long before the outside looks impressive. The trap here is the golden cage. Income rises, but the household quietly uses every dollar to support a life that now requires the income to stay high forever. The mortgage fits 2 paychecks. The car payments fit 2 paychecks. The school costs, travel, insurance, subscriptions, and expectations all fit 2 paychecks. Nothing looks irresponsible. But everything depends on the machine never slowing down. The move at stage 5 is to use money to remove pressure, not add more pressure with nicer packaging. More options are only useful if you do not trade them for more obligations the moment they appear. Stage 6 is enough. This does not mean private jets, perfect portfolios, or never thinking about money again. For most normal people, enough means the money can support the life, and the life does not need to constantly perform for other people. At this stage, the question changes again. It is no longer, can I get more? It becomes, what is the money for? That question sounds soft, but it is one of the hardest financial questions. If money was always a scoreboard, enough will never feel like enough. There will always be a bigger house, a cleaner number, a friend who looks ahead, or a new version of success that makes the old target feel small. But if money is a tool, enough creates a different kind of freedom. You can buy back time. You can protect family. You can reduce stress. You can work because the work matters, not because every bill is waiting at the door. The trap at enough is complexity and performance. People start thinking simple is not sophisticated anymore. They chase complicated investments. They upgrade their lifestyle to prove the number is real. They let other people turn their private progress into a public identity. But the strongest version of enough is usually quiet. Paid bills, low pressure, good sleep, fewer forced yes, fewer emergencies that become identity crises, more space between you and the next thing that goes wrong. So those are the 6 stages. Below 0, stop the bleeding. First positive number, protect the first margin. Stable but still the engine. Give every dollar a job. First serious snowball, let the system start helping. Visible options. Do not trade freedom for a nicer cage. Enough. Decide what the money is actually for. The important thing is not to pretend everyone should be at the same stage. The important thing is to know which stage you are actually in, because the next right move depends on that. If you are below 0, the next move is not luxury investing. It is stopping the leak. If you have your first cushion, the next move is protecting it. If you are stable, the next move is building a system. If the snowball is moving, the next move is not interrupting it every time life gets shinier. And if you are near enough, the next move is remembering that the point was never to impress strangers with the size of the number. The point was to make life less fragile. If this map made money a little easier to see, subscribe to XX Invests. We turn confusing financial decisions into simple animated pictures. This video is for education and entertainment only, not personal financial advice. Always consider your own situation before making major money decisions.